Thank you for calling the National Christian Helpline. Please hold while we connect you to one of the team. National Christian Helpline. My name's Claire. How can I help you?
Hello, love. Is God there today, please? Can I speak to God?
We can pray to God. Would that be okay?
No, I'd like to speak to him personally if possible. I've got a complaint.
Okay. Well, you can pray to God then, and that's the best way to speak to him personally.
Yeah, but that's only a one.
Together. Would
that
be okay?
No, because that's only a one-way thing, isn't it? I won't get a reply from him. That'd be like writing to the council. Well, that'd be like writing to the council and not getting reply.
Yeah. Shall we
That's
pray
like
anyway?
I've tried ringing the local MP and I don't get an answer out of him, so I thought I'd ask God himself.
Okay.
But what time
would? That now?
What was he there to have a word with, please?
God's always available, as far as I'm concerned. Yeah.
He's there. He's there now. Can I actually speak to him person to person? Because I might get a proper answer.
You don't speak to God through me. You speak to God.
Well, no, I don't want to speak to his secretary. I want to speak to him personally.
Yeah. Well, he's not sat next to me, but he's around. I believe.
You see,
that's what I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's your belief. I mean, I've rung the MP today, and he believes it as well. But he didn't give me a proper answer, so that's why I'm ringing. I found your number, and it says it's the National Christian Helpline. So I thought, well, ring you up, and you'll be able to put me through to God, and God will be able to answer the question.
How do you think I can put you through to him?
Well, you must have his number. If you're his secretary, you must have his number. Have you got his extension number?
I believes in him. I'm not a secretary.
There's a what? Sorry.
I'm a person who believes in him. I'm not a secretary.
Well, I believe in Father Christmas, but I'm not an elf.
No.
What I'm asking for is to speak to God himself, please. Do you have his extension number?
The only way I can suggest you speak to him is to sit down and pray to him. That is the only way to speak to God.
Well, I may as well just sit here and talk to the wall then, because that ain't going to get me a proper answer. I mean, I may as well. I get more chance out of me talking to my cat. At least the cat would meow back. At least, I mean, I don't know if this might sound silly to you, but if I can't speak to God personally, I don't know that I'm not just being fobbed off with we'll just put him onto there and just put him onto somebody else, and I don't get the answer to the question. That's why I'd like to speak to him personally.
The only way is to pray. That is how we speak to God.
I give up on praying; it don't work.
Groups together, or we can pray on our own.
Yeah, but that doesn't speak to the man himself, does it? I mean, if you've got a complaint or if you've got a question you want to get put through to customer services, which basically, I guess, you're customer services, aren't you?
I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't. I'm a Christian who is here to pray with people. I haven't got a direct line to God any more than you have.
Well, that's a bit of a con then. If you need to talk,
I pray and leave it to Him to answer my prayers.
Well, that's not very good. I mean, you just may as well just sit there and sit in a corner and hum to yourself, haven't you, and suck your thumb, because you're not going to get a proper reply.
Straight away, but I do believe that He hears our prayers.
Well, he doesn't, because he doesn't do anything that I've asked.
Yeah. So have you been praying?
Yeah, I've spoke to him, but he don't answer. Yeah. That's why I thought, right, I've had enough of this. I'm going to ring up and speak to the big man himself.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you can't just sit there hoping that he's going to hear you, because there's that many people shouting in his ear. All he's going to hear is just a load of white noise. How could he listen to every single person? He can't. So the only way to do it is ring him up and say, look, God, I've got a problem here, dude. We need to get this sorted. Because there's that many people shouting. If you sit in a big, say, a big hall, and you've got 1,500 people shouting at you, how can you take it in? He can't. That's why he doesn't hear. So you need to get on the landline.
He's not a human.
Sorry?
He's God. He's not a human.
He's not an alien, is he?
No, he's God. Yeah.
So how can he hear everybody at once? That ain't possible. That's why he's got people...
But I believe he does.
Well, if he does, then why has he got people like you working in the office answering the phone for him at his call centre?
I'm just praying with people who prefer to pray with somebody
Where,
rather than on their own. That's what my remit is, really.
right? Are you in heaven then?
No, I'm just another Christian who is happy to pray with people and just chat through their issues.
So you're not in heaven.
We pray together.
So whereabouts are you then? If you're not in heaven,
I just live on earth.
whereabouts on earth?
We're not at liberty to give out personal information.
Well, no. What county? What country?
Oh, I live in the United Kingdom.
So you're not in heaven.
No.
So how on earth is God gonna hear? I mean, if you tell me to just go sit down in my garden and ask him why the garden's overrun with weeds, right, which is the problem, no matter how hard I work to get it clear of weeds, it's still full of weeds, right? You say sit there and pray to him, but if there's a call centre like I've rung here to speak to him, you should be able to get the message through to him quicker. Or, rather than that, like I've asked for, is to speak to him personally.
You want God to get rid of your weeds?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, why not? I don't want to use chemicals and that on it. So I prayed for him, and the more I rip him up, the more comes back, and it's like he's taking a mick. So you can't do that, can you? So isn't that a reasonable question, saying, look, God, I'm doing a good thing. I'm not using chemicals on my garden. I'm trying to make it lovely and natural for the earth. But somebody started just saying, we'll throw loads of weeds in. And I've got arthritis and it kills my knees getting down. So I thought I'd ask him, seeing as he seems a decent guy, look, can you do us a favour and just not put so many weeds in the garden? Because all I'm going to have to do is go down there with chemicals and kill them, which is going to kill his creatures, isn't it? Or are
yeah,
you...
I guess. I mean...
Well, there's no guessing. It's obvious. There's no guessing.
I'm not quite... I can't quite follow... I mean...
Which is why I wanted to speak to him.
Make, really.
Well,
I mean, we can certainly pray together about your garden.
Well, I ain't going to help because I've tried it. That's why I thought if I could speak to the big guy himself, I could say, look, mate, I'm doing a good favour. I'm doing you a favour. I'm planting lots of vegetables up, so at least I'm keeping the earth going. I'm growing stuff naturally. But there's all weeds down here, so if you could do us a favour and just knock them on the head for a while and give me a chance to get it all sorted, then we're all right. But you're not going to leave him a message, and I'm just expected to sit down there. I'd probably get more chance of talking to the birds that's sitting in the trees. Because that ain't getting me an answer, is it? Just sitting there and talking to me sen, which is basically what it is. Because I've tried talking to her and said, look, God, I'm trying to grow all these vegetables, and all I'm getting is all weeds and rubbish in here, right? The only other answer I've got is go to find the devil's hotline, ring him up and say, hey, dude, just come and burn these weeds off for us. Which is what I see would be happening if I was using chemicals.
Okay.
That's reasonable, isn't it?
I haven't got an answer. My only answer is to pray. I haven't got an answer.
Right, you haven't got an answer for it, which is why I want to speak to God himself if I can, please. But you're saying you haven't got an extension number.
Or you can pray on your own.
I've tried it, and it don't work. You just talk till the cows come home. So basically, this is a call centre for Jesus, but you can't help us because you ain't got his direct number. He's not in the phone book. I've Googled it and I can't find it on there.
Yeah, well, my belief is different to yours. I do believe that God is here with me now. When people are gathered together in his name, he's around.
Well, if he's there, just do us a favour, and ask him on my behalf to get...
to answer prayers straight away or not is his prerogative.
Well, if it ain't, he's got a couple of days, otherwise I'm going to have to bring the chemical squad in and burn all the weeds off. So it'll be his loss, won't it?
Possibly, but
well, it isn't. No, it's not possibly, love it. It's not possibly. That's going to be the answer. Because if God don't listen, then in comes...
Trying to blackmail God, are you?
No, not at all.
That's what it sounds like a little bit. If you don't do this for me, God, I'm going to do that.
Well, it's his own loss, isn't it? I'm trying to do stuff to help God and his land that he created. But he ain't helping me. So this was my last sort of Look, I've got to do something about it because I can't be eating weeds when winter comes. I need to eat vegetables.
Okay.
So if he isn't going to help me, if he's going to sit there and say, no, I'd sooner help somebody that say, I don't know. He doesn't seem to be helping no one with the state of the world at the moment. I think, is he on holiday or something?
I don't believe he is. God's in charge, and that's
Well,
what I would believe.
Well, he wants to get his finger out and sort something out because my garden's full of weeds. As fast as I'm digging them out, they're coming back. Now, if he's the one that creates the world, he wants us all to live, he wouldn't fill my garden with weeds. So either he sorts it out, or I have to get the chemicals in and kill it off and risk killing creatures. And that's not bribery, that's common sense. So what's your next step? Because I don't think praying works. I've tried it.
Well, my next step would be to pray to him now.
I've already tried that. I've been trying that since January.
Try it again.
We don't listen.
Let's pray and let's try it again and see what happens.
But would you do us a favour, Doc? Would you give him a message on my behalf? Would you do us a favour for him here?
I'll pray for you.
Right, yeah. Well, just have a... Well, see if you can get him a message. Leave him a message on his answer phone and say, look, Farmer Fletch is trying to sort his garden out. If you can't do it, you got till the weekend, then he's going to fetch the chemical squad in. There's no what you could do about it. I've been reasonable with the guy.
Okay, I'll pray for you, but I'm not making demands of the Lord.
Well, it's not demand, it's a request. I'm not demanding it.
It sounds more like a bit of a demand to me, and a bit of, if you don't do this, I'm going to do that sort of thing.
Well, he ain't doing his job, is he?
And what is his job?
His job is to look after us all. If we're looking after his earth, then he should be helping us out. It seems a bit one-sided.
Yeah.
We're trying to help his earth by looking after it, not using chemicals. But he's like, can't be bothered. So it works both ways, though. It works both ways.
Okay, we'll go round in circles here a bit. Well, I'll pray for you when I put the phone down, or we can pray together now.
Well, tell him, leave him a message on his answer phone. Tell him he's got till weekend to get back to me, and then I'm just gonna have to do what I've got to do. Look.
Okay.
That's only reasonable. I've given him a chance. I've had a word with local MP, and he says, speak to God. So that's what we're doing.
Well, I would keep praying anyway.
Well, what I'll do is I'll ring you this time next week and see what's happened.
Can do, yeah, that'll be great.
Yeah, and I'll let you know if he's listening. All right, Doc, cheers then. You take care, Doc. Bye. Bye.